What are the three most dangerous letters in all of wrestling, you ask? It's not NWO. It's not GTS. It's not even ODB. It's RKO. This episode of Two Views Wrestling, we will be talking about the Viper, the legend killer himself, Randy Orton. Randy Orton is a first ballot Hall of Famer and has racked up a resume that rivals any great in the game. He's recently made a comeback from a debilitating back injury that looked like his career was over. So in honor of him still going strong after 20 years on top, we have dedicated this episode to him. We're going to look at my 5 favorite matches from his career. Now look, before we get into this list, his match from Backlash 2004 against Mick Foley won't be on here. That is easily Orton's best match, and everyone puts that on the list. So we want to give some other matches some love. Before we start the list, please punt that like button and hit an RKO on the subscribe button. Now, let's get this list started. Number 5 versus RVD from Armageddon 2003. This match was for the Intercontinental title and had Mick Foley as the special guest referee. Add Ric Flair on the outside and you got 4 all-time greats involved. Orton was only 23 years old here and already putting on banger matches. I feel like this match may be the best match of Rob Van Dam's WWE career. Him and Orton had such great chemistry and looked like they were moving at light speed sometimes in this contest. Sometimes the way Van Dam sells a DDT kind of makes me sick. One in this match looks like he snapped his neck. This match is from a historic night, as not only does Orton win his only IC title, but all of Evolution would leave with gold and establish themselves as one of the best factions in history. Number 4 versus Christian Over the Limit 2011. These two had 4 big pay-per-view matches for the world title in 2011, and I loved every one of them. If it wasn't for the iconic Punk vs. Cena match for Money in the Bank and The Rock returning at Survivor Series, Orton vs. Christian would have been match of the year for me. I'm sure a lot of people think their SummerSlam match was the best, but I like this one for the straight-up wrestling match. It had a lot of counters and good back-and-forth action. Orton busted out a wheelbarrow submission we hadn't seen from him before or since. It's a shame Christian wasn't given more opportunities in the WWE main event scene. The matches with Randy Orton show he could have high-level world title matches. In the end, Orton still had Christian's number and walked out still world heavyweight champion. I think the world title looked better on Orton than other titles in WWE, like he was meant to be world heavyweight champion. Number 3 versus Shawn Michaels Survivor Series 2007. This WWE Championship match had a cool stipulation with HBK not being allowed to use his finishing move, Sweet Chin Music. I think it would be a good callback to this match if WWE did something similar with Orton now, where he isn't allowed to use the RKO. Michaels locked in a tight neck vise that he had in for several minutes and even turned into some creative pin attempts. It was a sequence I really enjoyed. Randy was still young in his career here, but was so damn good. HBK is easily one of the best in-ring performers ever, and Orton was keeping up with him every step of the way. Because of the no Sweet Chin Music, Shawn had to pull out all different moves to try to win. It was a crazy moment to see HBK lock in a sharpshooter in a WWE title match at Survivor Series 10 years after the Montreal Screwjob. In the end, Sweet Chin Music would be HBK's downfall as he hesitated to hit it and took an RKO and lost. This was a great match with 2 great in-ring performers at their best. Number 2 versus Triple H No Mercy 2007. This match was the culmination of a crazy night that saw the WWE title being defended 3 times in one night. To start the night, Orton was awarded the vacant title just for Triple H to challenge him and win it. Then Triple H defended it against Umaga, and finally Orton and Triple H would do battle in a last man standing match. Orton and Triple H are good in matches like this because they seem to enjoy inflicting serious harm on each other. This was Triple H's third match of the night, so Orton didn't resort to weapons right away as he thought he wouldn't need them to put Triple H away. Once the weapons came out, things got brutal. The RKO on a chair was a sick spot. JR and the King were great on the call as they were really into the fight. Triple H was willing to die to keep the WWE title, and Orton had no problem making that happen. They don't call him the Legend Killer for nothing. Number 1 versus The Undertaker, Armageddon 2005. Orton versus Undertaker was easily the best feud of 2005. They had 4 big pay-per-view matches spaced throughout the whole year. This was the final match, and it was a Hell in a Cell. I love how The Undertaker slams the cell door like you're locked in here with me now. This match was a bloody affair as Orton, Taker, and Cowboy Bob were all bleeding. This match had a lot of great sequences. Brutal chair shots from The Undertaker, a nasty low blow with a chain. I like the RKO across the top rope. I love it when Orton would reverse the chokeslam into an RKO. Orton hitting a tombstone and Undertaker sitting up was dope. There is a lot of carnage and destruction in this underrated Hell in a Cell match. Undertaker was the victor, but Orton had a great showing and let the wrestling world know he was going to be a force to be reckoned with. Just like an RKO out of nowhere, my list is over. Let us know in the comments what are some of your favorite Randy Orton matches. During a 20-plus year career, he has a ton of great matches to choose from.